As part of learning components, we are examining the files generated after creation of a component. In the previous video, we looked into the generated component class. In the same component class, now we will have a deeper look into OnInit. From the imports, we can see OnInit comes from the Angular core library. Let us look into OnInit. I am going to the source code of OnInit. We can see that it is a TypeScript interface and it contains only one function defined as ngOnInit. Hope you remember this function was present in the component class. When a class implements an interface, it should define all the properties and functions included in the interface. Based on this principle of object-oriented programming, any class implementing OnInit interface should implement ngOnInit function. Since getting started component is implementing OnInit, it forces the class to implement ngOnInit function. If I remove the ngOnInit function, then we can see that it results in a compilation error asking to include the ngOnInit function. I am reverting back the code and including back the ngOnInit function. This function is automatically called when data is initialized in the component. In a class, data initialization happens in the constructor, hence ngOnInit function will be called after the constructor. We can use the ngOnInit function to include code that does processing or other initialization of data to display the initial content of the component in the browser. Later in this course, we will see the importance and significance of this function. The ngOnInit function is part of the concept called component lifecycle hooks. There are other lifecycle hooks available other than OnInit, but for the sake of simplicity, we will now not focus on other lifecycle hooks. Let me open app.component.ts in an adjacent window to compare and view the difference between these two component classes. If you notice app.component.ts, the OnInit is not included and ngOnInit function is not defined. Angular for some reason has not included this in app.component.ts, but if there is a need, then OnInit can be included based on our requirement. Hope the previous video and this video gives an explanation about the generated component class when creating a new component. Now we have gone through all the 4 files generated when creating a new component. In the next video, we will look into the modifications happened in app.module.ts when a new component was created.